Part 1. You will hear 3 different extracts. For questions 1 to 6, you must choose the best answer, A, B or C. There are 2 questions for each extract. Extract 1. You hear a shop manager talking to her colleague about growing the business. Now look at questions 1 and 2.
Business is slow again today, isn't it? If it carries on like this, we'll have to make some changes.
You don't mean changing our product ranges, do you? We've been getting some really excellent reviews and feedback from customers about them.
That's great, but we still need to be getting more people through the door. I'm confident that once people actually give us a try, they'll see we're streets ahead of our rivals in terms of quality and the service we provide.
So is marketing the key?
Well, I've been wondering if we can make our prices more competitive. Maybe we should start with some kind of 2-for-1 deal.
That might work, at least temporarily. It wouldn't be hard to do, and it might buy us a bit of time to think about other strategies.
I know it's not a long-term fix, but I think it could be what we need to get people through the door. Well, I'll call a staff meeting and let's get started.
No problem.
Extract 2. You hear 2 college students discussing a lecture. Now look at questions 3 and 4.
Dr. Reed really packs a lot of information into her lectures, doesn't she? I've taken so many notes.
Me too. But it was a really interesting topic, especially the bit about codes of practice.
You mean when she gave the example of that Japanese fashion company?
Yes. And codes of practice are about how companies do their business. You know, how they treat their staff, that kind of thing.
I've seen them over here too. But am I right in thinking she said codes of practice aren't legally binding?
Not quite. I think she was saying companies can make their own ethical decisions and there's no legal requirement about that. But companies that profit from investment based on these codes have an obligation to fulfill them.
But in reality, don't customers just want good value and good service?
Well, there can be a lot of undesirable publicity when companies have a reputation for treating their staff badly. So these codes can have a positive impact on companies' behaviour. Companies might not put them at the core of their business, but at least it's something.
You're right. I'll add that to my notes.
Extract 3. You hear a man telling his friend about a film he's just watched. Now look at questions 5 and 6.
So, was the film any good? I've heard mixed reviews about it.
Well, I think you'd enjoy it, and there were some funny bits.
That's not exactly a glowing review. Doesn't sound like you were very impressed.
No, I did like it, but I hadn't read the original book, so I couldn't figure out what was going on half the time. That was the only thing that spoilt it a bit for me. It wasn't until the conclusion that it all sort of made sense, and the final scene was very powerful.
I'm surprised they chose such young actors for the main roles. The characters are meant to be middle-aged.
Well, I didn't have any issues with that. The performers all did a good job.
I suppose with film adaptations, the source is just the starting point. If you go in with fixed expectations, you'll be disappointed.
Exactly. And some film adaptations work precisely because they do something new with the story. Maybe if schools showed film adaptations of classic novels, more students would enjoy literature.
But there's something unique about great literature that you can't get from films. It's better to bring novels to life through class discussions.
I guess.